Hello, welcome to another WeAreDevelopers Live. It's Wednesday again. I really messed this up. There's supposed to be an intro video right now, and I played the wrong intro video, but anyways, it's not going to be that much of an issue. It's just going to be different things telling you that this is WeAreDevelopers Live. So without further ado, I have a guest today, and I also have a different guest today, who is the new member of WeAreDevelopers. And as Dan, the normal host, the co-host here, is right now on a plane to San Jose to actually go to this event and plan for that one. We want to talk about a bit current affairs, show a few tools, and then we're going to go deep dive into security of NPM and package models. So without further ado, let's first have Josh. Josh is a new colleague of mine, and you just joined the office in Vienna, but you're not from there, right? And your mic's off.
You know, classic experience in the digital world at this point, being muted first of all. But no, I'm originally from San Francisco, so quite close to where we're having our next Congress event. But yeah, I've been based out here in Europe for the past roughly 10 years, give or take. So excited to be part of the WeAreDevelopers team, and glad to be chatting with you all.
And what's a PMM do?
So in short, making sure that the messaging that we put out there is actually reflective of how our external audience perceives us, and then tries to match that against what we as a company are trying to do, and really finding the marriage between those kind of systems between them. So WeAreDevelopers, we have our Congress events, and then we have our platform. And from that perspective, we have two pretty unique target audience groups. We have the partners that we're working with, the larger vendors that you all know, the Dockers, AWS, Kubernetes, et cetera, of the world. And then we have yourselves, the developers who attend the events. Those communications need to be quite different. And it's on me to talk with everyone and figure out, hey, what works best? How will everyone get the best value from working with us, with communicating with us, and honestly, just sharing content and their thoughts with us.
Cool. And the other guest that we have today is actually by his stage name, much like Josh S. That's your street name as well, right? Noctur, which is hard to pronounce, but then your real name is Zbyszek Tenerowicz. Am I even close?
That's pretty good. Yes, very good.
Cool. Which of course means you're from Poland, because vowels there cost a lot of money, so that's why you don't use any of them. You just basically use the consonants and make one word out of it. So what do you do? What drives you every day?
I'm mostly into JavaScript everything. Started out very early on. The first 5 lines of JavaScript that I've written would crash Internet Explorer on Windows 98, including the system shell. That was fun. And I kind of stayed. And these days, for the last 5, 6, maybe 10 years, depending on if you count the hobby time, I've been doing open source supply chain security.
Cool. And we talked earlier, but during the intro and everything, that you were one of the users of Firefox OS and one of the daily drivers, one of the early adopters back then. And the idea of an open source mobile phone environment was very, very tempting for all of us. I worked on that for 2 years, and it's kind of sad that there's even Microsoft didn't make it to break into the mobile market. There's only Android and iOS, and that's it. Like everything else, like Sailfish, what other open alternatives are there?
There
really
are
tricky.
Linux-based OSs that are alive. I have a buddy who's been working on one of those full time. Maybe still is. Didn't catch up, but yeah, there's Librem, PinePhone, these kind of things. If
The
anyone
OnePlus was
wants to
also
check them
another
out.
option. I love the first OnePlus that was like basically building blocks, so you can actually add your phone together rather than just having a fixed phone. You can say like, I want this, I want a better camera, so you can buy a better camera and put that one in, and all these formats. And now everybody's like, oh, our phone folds 6 times, and like that's the next new feature that nobody. I mean, I still see people on planes having foldable phones, and it just feels wrong to me every single time I see them using them. I'm just like, this is just breaking it. I mean, every phone is foldable once if you put enough effort in, but like the whole idea of having the screen. I mean, I cannot see how this actually lasts more than 1 year or 2 years. This is just really bizarre.
I can't lie. I'm always drawn to it. You know, growing up, we had the Motorola flip phones is the cool thing to have, and then you had the sidekicks. I mean, I can imagine it's a development nightmare figuring out how to build effective apps. First, for example, the modular devices, like, okay, how do you make sure that the app can actually function with the different hardware that you're putting in?
Things in the middle, like
next
between the two screens.
Yeah, I mean, I know I was in the video tech world for a while. I know with adaptive video players, it's not difficult, for example, to play with the aspect ratios. A lot of it is quite responsive at this point, but I can't imagine having to deal with that with the, like, you know, what do they call it? The notebook style flip phones at this point, when you have to always consider the aspect ratios with your different app or platform that you're building.
Well, a lot of apps and a lot of stuff becomes streaming these days, especially games. Like you don't even install them anymore, and you just have like a video stream, and that adapting that to different screens and needs is much easier than actually the interface itself. So, I mean, I always find it fun when I've got this like 5-year-old Fire Stick for my phone, Amazon Fire Stick, and it says like, oh, you can play AAA games on that. And they're like, yeah, the refresh rate always makes me not reach a button. So I'm quite sure a AAA game will be really beautiful on that old TV set from 10 years ago. I'm quite sure that's going to be a real success. It's like, what the... And also this upsell. I mean, I do that to watch telly on it and to watch my Netflix and my Disney. And it's like, it shows me like a new movie. Oh, cool. So let's watch it. No, in the cinemas right now. And I'm like, why do I see that on my telly then? Like, where is the point of me? It's like, I'm not going to go like, oh, I'm going to go to the cinema now. Like, no, don't show me that here. It's really bizarre. It was fun during the World Cup, basically seeing the German television, how they showed the games, and then watching it on Magenta TV, which is like the T-Online one. A few of the games there, it's the amount of ads shown in between on Magenta compared to like the normal ARD ZDF thing was just hilarious. Like, and that's why the whole like refresh breaks or drink breaks were just like show a lot of ads.
Hydration. We watched them hydrate, which they didn't.
Well, I mean,
there were no ads in Europe, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm quite sure in America there were like 6,000. And I mean, I also liked how they interrupted everything to show that 3-second FIFA animation that meant nothing and then went away again. Like, and it's like, I mean, Josh, you probably will disagree with me in terms of branding is necessary, but I always felt like they had a conversation and then they just showed that thing for 3 seconds and went back to the conversation and everything, the flow was gone.
I mean, the style is consistent.
There's a right time and a right place for everything. Like the best type of advertising, in my opinion, is the kind that's non-disruptive to the user experience. So forcing unnecessary water breaks, inserting, something in the middle of a speech that's incredibly disruptive and helps no one. Like the water breaks for what? A lot of these players can play in 40-degree temperature without taking a water break, and now they're forced to do it in a domed stadium where they're regularly experiencing 22 degrees.
That was the funniest thing.
Chris, it was like
air-conditioned stadiums, and they're like, okay, and now we have a water break because it's too hot. And you're like, where? Like, what are you talking about? Okay. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. It went out, and I'm very happy that the FIFA finally made some money. I mean, we always wanted to make sure that they're not only there for the sport, and so that's good to hear. So yeah. Anyways, let's take a look at some of the bits that I connected with, that I collected for this. Let's see if StreamYard is again kicking it out after a few minutes, which it kept doing the last few weeks. So I don't know if that's an issue, but we'll see if it happens or not. So the big news, of course, that everybody is talking about and everybody's going crazy about is that there's a new EU law for deepfake AI content, meaning that if something is a deepfake or something has been AI generated and is not a real person, would it be in an advertising? Would it be in a political campaign? Would it be anywhere else? It actually, you have to give it a label that it is AI generated. Otherwise, you could get fined by the European Commission for like a few million, whatever, euros. And everybody's going bonkers about it right now, saying, oh, I can't use AI anymore. And the EU is holding us back. And yeah, I think it's just an honest thing to do. It just feels very bizarre that people are not understanding that deep faking somebody else is actually an intrusion into their privacy and actually into their digital identity as well. So having to label it is not a big thing. I remember like all the comedy programs in the BBC and also in Europe, they all have like, okay, they have deep fakes of politicians, but they then have AI generated in the corner, and they had that for a year now. So it's not an uncommon thing. But I myself, I feel cheated when you actually give me a product and you have an avatar generated person talking to me, or even worse, if I call a helpline and actually it's an AI generated person without telling me that it is. What about you? Like, what do you think about that ruling? Is it something that the EU is just doing to annoy America, or is it something that you consider a necessity as well?
Well, it's been a while for most of internet-related regulation to be tested out in Europe first. So they're just continuing on the same road. This is regulation that probably flawed, but still pioneers what we will be doing in the future if we want to have societies when AI is all over the place. Although, at some point, when the costs are real again, where the subsidizing tokens goes away, if we don't build enough infrastructure, this is going to be too expensive to waste on stupid stuff. So one problem with regulating both AI and social media is that people are going to ignore the regulation, and enforcing the regulation is much, much more expensive than whatever they're doing. And this is a lost game at scale. So what you need is regulation that can be easily enforced, or regulation that is created with the assumption that it's not going to be enforced, but it's there to set up a social contract where people will expect, like with teenagers not being allowed to use social media in some countries, coming to more countries. This is not a regulation to actually stop it from happening, although you have to publicly say it, but it's a regulation to introduce a taboo on parents who are just giving kids, hey, play with this Facebook thing for a bit while I'm slicing my carrots.
I think
what about you, Josh?
I think ultimately a lot of this boils down to, hey, how much effort are you willing to put into a given task or response? The organizations and the people who are upset about this are the people who never understood the fundamentals of doing these tasks yourselves. So using Photoshop to create deep fakes And when you come actually to the moral and the ethical obligations of this, yeah, EU has always been the leading use case of what's morally and ethically kind of much higher ground than what's in the States. It's, to your point, Noctur, to your point, it's exactly oriented about enforcement and what are people actually willing to do about it, to be honest, because at this point, people are going to keep exploiting this unless there's no end all value to it. I think what will have a bigger impact on deepfake AI content and AI usage is actually the restriction on the potential building of said infrastructure, because we know how much negative impact all of these data centers have on the environment. And that will, once you put restrictions on the infrastructure build, you're going to have that increase in cost. You're going to have companies saying, all right, this isn't worth it for me to use anymore. And you should have a reduction. I mean, to the point of it being political or other sensitive content, there's always going to be bad actors and you're going to need to chase those down. But of course, it is rage baiting America a little bit, but I think this is steeped in a good cause and for good reason. And it's going to force us to continue staying on the line of what's reality, what's good quality, and staying the line realistically and maintaining some semblance of humanity in the digital world.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting one because also people like LinkedIn now have a button saying like this is AI generated content and flag it up. Facebook had similar things in Europe as well before. And yeah, I'm kind of done. I only use Facebook to follow dogs, and I'm so done with all these fake dog videos of like, oh, our dog is 16-year-old now, and it's like dog breeds that go up to like 5 years. And it's obviously a picture of a puppy, and you're like, and it's just interaction bait, like, oh, don't scroll past me, send me some love kind of thing. And you're like, yeah, these chances really annoy the hell out of me. It's like we made social media not social anymore. We just made it a machine that actually gets fed and actually feeds interaction from other bots. And I find it like it's a good opportunity to restart that whole thing. And I would pay for a button to actually filter out all AI generated content. But of course, that's not going to happen because these are the people that make the most money for these platforms as well. But it is interesting when companies do something like Substack right now actually did something similar. It actually now has an AI detection tool, and the users call it a witch hunt, which of course is very Substacky answer to do in things. But it's interesting to see that like if you as a platform, you basically say like, okay, that's obviously AI generated. Please link it up like that. How the community or the community that replaced the original community, like the AI generators kind of thing, get annoyed with that. And I love the term witch hunt for it. And you're like, no, you're not a witch. You're not even Ginger. What the hell? Like, but I don't know. I'm not into Substack that much. Are you, CB?
I'm not in Substack.
Sorry. Not really, but yeah, been reading occasionally some things, but I don't subscribe to anything in particular. Well, it's not something that I invented. I'm quoting someone, but there's this quote that I use for this situation, and it pretty much summarizes my whole approach. Why should I bother reading something you didn't bother to write?
Yeah. Yep.
I don't disagree entirely. I can tell you from my point of view right now. So I joined the company 2.5 weeks ago, and we have this massive event coming up. And in order to help build some buzz, I want to summarize a good significant portion of the content that we had in our Berlin event. And we had 450 sessions. So we had more if you include workshops and master classes, but we had 450 recorded sessions. And in order to build awareness around what we did and what we want to do, I just don't have the time to sift through this. I'm using AI to ingest all that material, come up with summaries. And frankly, I trained my Claude co-work, I trained a Claude skill to be like very, very good at extracting quality content. It's not great. I still have to review it extensively. And I'll tell you, hey, listen, on an output piece, if it is a blog, I'll still spend 2-3 hours making sure that it's good quality, that the sources are accurate. But when it comes to creating at scale, and if you're on a time limitation, I'll lean into it. But if I will spend time writing. So I think that there's a middle ground in that case. And to the point of Substack, that's necessary. I mean, in the past 2 years, I think Substack was completely taken over by marketers as another lead gen tactic because LinkedIn's not working anymore. Newsletters to your inbox are rarely being read. Substack was supposed to be that quality-oriented medium where people, to your point, aren't writing AI-generated content, where people are writing their true thoughts, they're publishing their research, doing this, and this. And infusing too much AI is when you suffer that qualitative degradation. So for me, I'm okay with the AI stamp being on it, but I think it'd be even better if, for example, you say, hey, this portion of the article was researched by AI, but this part was written by myself. So I think we're kind of in this weird time of AI application where we haven't found that perfect balance of what's good, what should be written manually. But to your point, absolutely. I get it. I read some AI stuff. I get the point of don't read it if you didn't spend the time writing it. Heard. Absolutely heard.
I think there's
kind of like,
I think there's aided and enhanced, and there should be different levels. It should be like completely AI generated, like a fake person or a video or these kind of things. And we tried to do that with the newsletter as well, and with the blog post that we have in our magazine. And every time we used it we used AI to generate a video from, for example, a list of links. It was just atrocious, and we couldn't at any point say like this is not what we want the world to see we are developers as, so we didn't do it. But like it feels like a lot of people, it's just like if you play the game of having to generate tons and tons of things just to be available to people, that's the thing. Same with like playing Hacker News, playing in the past, playing like Product Hunt. Like all these different platforms, you had to actually flood with lots and lots of crap, even if you don't have done it. But yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm not too worried about it because it also feels weird as somebody who blogged since 2005 and published a few books, seeing people who just go into that publishing world just to make money. That's another thing that just drove me nuts. Like how everybody is. I mean, you see people like publishing a book every 3 days, and you're like, no, that's not possible. I'm sorry. This is like you're not like Tolkien or somebody. Like this is not a thing that people do. So don't pretend that this was not done by AI. But yeah, okay. This is an interesting countermeasure.
Josh's point, just wanted to add that I have no problem with people using AI extensively to work on the concept, even to build an early draft. It's about human attention to curation of what they want to say that is important to me. And if I have the guarantee of that human curation, that every sentence in that text was intended and the person believes it's true and to the point of what they're trying to say, it could even be partially AI generated for me, and that would be fine. The problem with that is if you see it being partially AI generated, it's really hard to gather up the trust that this person really paid attention to what I'm reading now. And this whole thing boils down to articles content in general just being transfer of ideas. Like we don't have means to transfer directly between brains because they're incompatible. They're not compatible hardware, so you can't just transfer
slow,
ideas. You have to you have to put them in writing. Language is a great invention. This is the only transfer of ideas that ever existed in nature. So I want to use it, and AI generated content is just not that. There's just not a brain from which this idea comes from. Double from. Yes. See, this is hard. So I don't mind if someone uses AI to not say from twice in a sentence around the same verb, but I guess the idea has transferred.
And also, like everybody going on, it's all about voice, it's all about video, it's all about like people listening to things like, oh, I've got a podcast that's 3.5 hours that could be a 3-paragraph article. Like it's the more engagement kind of bait thing is another bit there. This is also interesting that there's a new thing about killing the cookie banner, because there's basically the new EU Commission says like if the browser has a privacy setting, then you actually don't need to actually bring up the banner anymore. And it's just incredible how many banner pop-ups you see in Europe that are just incredibly frustrating. I mean, I've seen like 8-level process, like eight-step processes to say yes or no to which cookies that you want to have on that thing. I mean, most of the time I'm using LibreFox, so basically it's a browser that if I close it, deletes everything again, so it doesn't really matter. But like it just feels to me like that's in America it's a meme already that basically the cookie banner is a joke, that our internet is so horrible to use because of it. I remember the EU Commission now also wants to redesign the euro bills. So one of the supposed designs I saw was a cookie banner on the 50 euro note. To depict what Europe is about. But yeah, it's an interesting thing, and it also says like what you can do and what you can talk about, and that the tracking industry is actually pushing against the idea that they still want to have the cookie banners because it is already a measure that somebody has seen the site, which is kind of ironic because it's against the idea of it. But yeah, it's an interesting bit, and yeah, to make things obvious, these are obviously AI generated images, but yeah. How about you, CB? What do you do about cookie banner things? Do you just delete them? You just say yes to everything? You just gave up on banner blindness by now?
Well, I mostly don't see them because they tend to be integrations of a third-party script, and I have an add-on that blocks all JavaScript that I didn't approve up front, so they just don't work. But I do have a buddy who's running an entire foundation for making internet better and improving privacy online. And they built a browser add-on and a mobile app analyzer tool that help them put together a report that they can send to authorities about a website and to the website owners first. Obviously, saying that, hey, you're sending user data, this and this and this data to the following third parties before they consent to anything. And that's a concern because the cookie banners are often just there for malicious compliance or just to have something, because that's the law. So someone at the company said, hey, tell this guy we're paying the least to get something installed while everyone else is busy making us money. And many of those just don't work. Like there's a lot of websites where your data has already gone to Facebook before the cookie banner was even displayed.
I mean, this case was hilarious as well, that the EU Commission actually filed a complaint against dict.cc, which is an online dictionary, and it has 1,741 partner cookies. And you do it with you do consent with one click. And I'm just like, what the hell is going on there? But yeah, it seems to be not uncommon.
It's insane. It's insane. I can tell you, like, as a individual, as a consumer, I hate cookies. Like, to your point, Susie, I've absolutely, like, I got essentially, my brain is now hardwired automatically to click the only accept necessary cookies, or at least to go through that freaking ridiculous flow to unselect which ones, because they do share. And then even if you don't have a Meta account, you have to go into Meta and say, do not buy or sell my information. It's just this entire ecosystem. Like, yeah, as a marketer, cookies, I need them. I hate them. And the fact that we want to get rid of them kind of makes it worse as a marketer, because you do very much want to have, I'm a fan of GDPR compliance. So I want to have like legitimate interest with people that I'm communicating with. That said, it's insane. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Chris is clicking through on the register and going through his cookies on his own. It's a very frustrating back and forth. I think even if we get rid of cookies, if we get rid of the GDPR clicks, the ad industry is always going to find a different way to buy your information some way, somehow. It's a endless back and forth cycle. But I don't know, the 1,700 informed consents for a dictionary website is insane. That doesn't strike me as surprising for some of these other media pages. Like, I don't know anything about the register, but I used to work for an ad tech company, and a lot of these media publications, they have at least 1,000 partners, and who's going to read through all that? Who's going to read through it? So yeah, no.
But patching the most horrible atrocities out there is changing the scale. So instead of your data going out to thousands of third parties, maybe in the future, as things get more and more difficult for the ad tech companies, they are going to compromise a little and do a better job of handling the data, because they have to. And they will not get out of business. They will find something else to use, even if cookies are gone. But it means it's going to be more difficult to have this negative impact on people at huge scale, like the Facebook like button had. And it's too early to tie it to supply chain security, but the same is happening in the realm of supply chain security right now, which I'm happy to revisit in a bunch of minutes.
Cool. Yeah, this was another thing that has been around for quite some time. There have been quite a few fonts right now in the making that actually all humans can read it and machines can't. So this one is a font that actually uses ligatures to actually make hide text inside it. So it's actually, this is the text that you would see, and this is the text that is actually in the HTML that a scraper would get. Now, my worry about this is accessibility. Like somebody who doesn't see the screen and somebody uses a screen reader, or somebody who actually translates websites into another language will probably get the other one as well. So I think it's a haha, we're actually fighting against the evil AI scrapers, but you're also a lot of times you're actually sacrificing accessibility and hurt other humans with it. So I don't think that this is the right way to do it, but it's a clever way of doing it. So typography fans will be happy about knowing that this is a possibility. Others were just like overlaying with blurry things, and like, yeah, I'm just like, this is cool, but I think the scraper problem, scraping content and ingesting content that it should be done on an HTTP level and not on a display level. So that feels like the wrong way to actually protect these things, because that has never been an option. Like, as soon as something is on the screen, I will get to it. And if it basically a lot of scraping bots also take screenshots of the picture now and don't even look at the HTML, and then OCR scan that and have your text again. So it feels a bit too clever for its own good. But cool techie geek shit. Talking about other geek stuff, we have to move a bit faster because I realize we have another thing. I love this. Another cookie consent. Look at that. It's actually written by Neil, who I wanted on the show a few times, but he actually isn't a person that wants to be on shows. And what it does, it actually goes to Wikipedia and searches all the pictures of Wikipedia, which are all PNGs, and then makes these sticker sheets out of it. So if you say like car You can actually see that. And now that that Google image search is basically like, oh, do you want to generate stuff rather than finding images? I found that actually really cool. That basically, and it's super fast. That's the other interesting thing about it. So it's beautifully done. And yeah, so you basically can click through to the different wiki pages as well.
Why is the default birds? Why is the default? Why is the default image search birds?
I don't know, because turd would be a different thing. It's still birds, so okay. See, like it's. I guess it's just a matter of like would be maybe a different reload every single time it does different ones. Yeah, it does. Look, it's not birds. It's just the first load was birds, and now it's like different random things from Wikipedia. But I love the aesthetic of it. It's like very 2002, like MySpace pages and stuff. That's pretty cute.
Oh, there you go. You gotta clear the search bar, and then you get an absolute hodgepodge of material. It's I don't even know what images I'm looking at here. This is burger. Anyway,
I love this one as well. This is the IKEA complexity index. So it's actually taking IKEA models. It's the price, how many steps you have to do, how many kinds it has, how many kinds of parts, how many manual pages, what the complexity level is, or the estimated time of having to build it. So people have done that with Lego models in the past, but now somebody did it for IKEA. And in essence, IKEA is just, it's Lego for grown-ups and less expensive than Lego. But it's just really cool to actually see, like, okay, when your partner or your friend actually says, like, I want to build this thing and want to build it with me. So this is a good website to take a look at and say, like, how complex will it be to actually build that thing? And yeah, I love that people just do that stuff for free. Nobody paid him to do that. Like, it's just a random data analysis thing and then making it a data table for sorting. And I wouldn't be surprised if IKEA takes it on in the future and actually puts that in the page, because they're a company. They have been a partner for ours as well at the Congress a few times, and they're just a very interesting company. So it will be interesting to show it to them and see if they are interested in actually putting it in the page itself.
I never thought that PAX models were the most complex sets to build. The ones that you can't pronounce,
I think that's the whole wardrobe, like, entire wall size of wardrobe. So that's a lot of stuff to build on the inside.
They have single step bathroom cabinets and stuff as well. I think that the best test for a relationship is to go to IKEA on a Saturday morning. And when you're still a couple at the end of it, then you actually know that you've done well, because that is the hardcore test and everything. Because it always cracks me up when you're like, I'm not going to buy much. And then you just turn around, like, and she stands there with like 5,000 things. And you're like, what is all that? Like, okay. And then you see things and we always go out and like more things that you wanted to have.
No, the true test is when you get home and if you're still in a relationship after trying to assemble that PAX wardrobe after you like spending hours trying to assemble it, if you could still get along.
We got the same with cooking. I mean, like, I like to cook, but don't watch me doing it. And the result will be tasty and good. But I don't need you to actually every step of the way tell me that you shouldn't have done that, and this is not how you shave a cucumber or whatever other things are in there. So yeah. Let's talk about a few tips and tricks. Passwords. This is an infographic that comes out every year, I think. How long it takes to actually brute force. Wow. Oh, what the hell? Oh yeah, more pop-ups. Excellent. How long it takes to actually crack passwords, and I don't want passwords anymore. But it seems to me like that is an article that has been written quite to a large degree by AI. But it's still interesting to see that when you see when things actually get leaked, and you see that the most used passwords were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and or baseball and these kind of things. So we all know that these things, but we don't actually do something about it. So it's interesting. But yeah. basically it's so much it's just a few spaces, making a sentence and changing a few characters around helps, and the longer the better, but that also means like you don't remember them. And that's one thing when we talked about macOS earlier. Like I love that I have my fingerprint, that I have my facial recognition, but every 2 or 3 logins, it asks me to type my password in. And I'm like, if I use a super complex password and I have to type it in to start my machine, I cannot have a super complex password. So yeah, it feels weird.
I was locked out of my company computer from day 1 until week 2 for that exact reason, because I logged into my computer and then immediately forgot my password, and then it locked me out. It took me a full I got locked out for a week before I could start using my official company computer to work again.
I'm biting my tongue here because I work in security. You know, when
Yeah, I
I
mean, what's
use my SSH key to push to GitHub, I have a SSH key that is encrypted when stored, and it's encrypted with a password that's, I don't know how long it is, like 30 digits or something, like 30 characters. And then I use so many iterations of the encryption algorithm that it literally takes 5 seconds for it to be ready after I finish entering the passwords. So don't get me started on passwords, but there's a lot of fun to be had around passwords. Are you familiar with the project ecdsa.fail?
No. What is it called? ESD?
I sent you a link you can click, but if it's not visible, it's ECDSA. ECDSA.fail.
Okay.
So Google published a paper where they gave a zero knowledge proof of making a vast improvement to the algorithm that future potential quantum computers could use to crack our passwords easily. And they made the necessary size of the quantum computer to crack modern passwords significantly smaller, like by 2-digit %. And then people took their testing framework for that and the proving thing and made it into a leaderboard. And now people keep improving that. They started with a small improvement that someone pulled off with the help of AI. And now people are fighting for the first place, and they have long surpassed the score that Google bragged about.
Okay. Well, why is it the same person 3 times?
Because they are submitting improvements. So there's a score that keeps going up, and there's a group of people working on it. My university buddy, who's still at the university, has the right kind of mind to participate in that, and he was at the top of the leaderboard for like 45 minutes, I guess, something like that.
Not bad. Cool.
Yeah.
So if I were 5 years old, this essentially is measuring how efficiently people can in the future crack passwords using quantum computers.
Yeah, the clearest I can make it is improvements to the algorithm that decrease the size of the quantum computer necessary to be able to crack modern passwords. So we're struggling to build any size of quantum computer, and the larger it gets, it gets exponentially more difficult. So making it half the size means you're not having the problem. You're making the problem like 10 times or 50 times smaller to build the quantum computer necessary.
Cool. Quick one. I'm going to move some of them to the newsletter because we're running out of time here. This is a tool called Undo, which I found really interesting because it actually takes destructive Unix commands and actually allows you to undo them. I mean, if you set up your machine to allow an RM-RF, then you should have a problem anyways on the root. But this one actually allows you to undo these changes, and might be an interesting thing to try out, and especially for you, CB, to take a look at if it really does what it's supposed to do. But I remember there was also one called the fuck, which is like if you mistyped a Unix command, it actually gave you the command that's closest to what you mistyped. But this one is actually something that might be interesting to do for agents and these kind of things as well. So I'm not quite sure how it's done. It just aliases the other ones,
it explained it. It adds a small hook that records what the command was doing.
Oh, fuck off.
There was a line on the screen for a moment.
Okay, so yeah, there's a behind the scenes as well, explaining you what it does, which is not much actually at all. Good thing I clicked the multiply for that. No daemon, no snapshots, no new halves. A shell hook. Okay, yeah. Interesting, because yeah, I mean the most retweeted thing I've done in the last few years was like to remove all the French files from your server to RM-FR, and people, I hope they didn't fall for it, but it was really interesting. That's still a thing for people to do. Now,
I'm typing in FR to this day.
So we have a game here called Fake or News. So I came up with news headlines, and you have to tell me if they are actually real or if I made them up. So I should play an intro video, but seeing how long the other one took, I'm worried about it, so we do that in post-production. So let's just go to that and play Fake or News. So the two of you, are you ready? You know the rules?
I hope so.
Cool. Google Workspace's AI writing assistant occasionally changes professional tone to casual slang mid-document.
That sounds true.
I say not true because it's not impactful enough to be newsworthy.
Fake, you're right. Apple's iMessage scanning flagged a video of my friend's dog as nudity.
I'd say true.
I'm gonna go contrarian. I'm gonna say false on this one. I'm gonna go 0 for 5.
German techno predecessors Kraftwerk released new AI-generated album called Even More Fun to Compute.
I'm a metalhead. This is hard. Probably not.
I'm gonna side with you on this one. This sounds like fake.
It is fake, and I got the cup to prove it. It was actually a great concert. They still have it. It's amazing. Python 3.14 or Python Pi deprecates loops entirely, encourages recursive thinking instead. The performance degrades by 34%.
It would be so much fun if this was true. But I guess not.
Yeah, that seems too like it's too perfect. Like why it follows the rule of pi. Yeah.
Yeah. It's called
Snapchat AI filters. Snapchat AI filters caught selling user biometric data to security contractor.
Wasn't that the whole like thing with Snapchat from the beginning? This seems like
true.
old. This seems like old news.
It's still fake.
Oh. Must have been
Right.
We need to
time.
We need to quarantine aliens on the moon, scientists propose.
Which scientists? Fake.
I'm gonna say it's true.
It's news. But this is a common thing that annoys the hell out of me. Like researchers say, scientists propose. This has become a very common headline, and it's just like, yeah, which scientist? How does that prove anything?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
wasn't
heard
that
a
the plot?
scientist say this at a bar.
Yeah, and wasn't that the
And
plot
that's the
from Men
quote.
in Black 2, where they had this space moon prison? New North Korean campaign uses fake coding interviews to steal developer credentials.
There's nothing new about it. It's very true.
I agree. I think it sounds true to me. Sounds true to me.
It is news, yeah. Vatican's official prayer app leaks 700K plus global users' personal identifiable information.
Prayer app? Yeah, I hope it's not true.
Me too, but I think it is. This sounds true.
It is true.
Ah,
There are many prayer apps out there, and they make a lot of money. It's really, really weird, but yeah. PostgreSQL as
space. Oh, sorry. Go on.
PostgreSQL adds optimistic sharding that sometimes loses data but tries to guess what you wanted back.
that's gotta be fake.
That sounds like a Claude thing.
It's fake.
Yeah.
AI companies are
MongoDB,
buying
maybe, but
AI companies are buying tons of old books because they're free of AI slop.
true.
True.
Yeah, apparently they're also destroying all the books now. That's the really annoying thing about it. Linux kernel now requires 3-factor authentication before allowing sudo. Adoption of fingerprint scanners mandatory by 2027.
I think it's not true, but inspired by something that actually happened.
I have no idea. I'm gonna say true.
It's fake. TikTok algorithm found to be training on user smartwatch activity.
How? Now that doesn't seem technically plausible.
Maybe with Apple Watch. I think it's all interconnected. It goes to our topic from before, or like they're selling all of these tools are selling data.
I'm
I think
saying
it's
fake.
true. I think it's true.
It's fake.
Oh,
US accuses American of allegedly wiping his phone using a duress password during border search.
Oh, I saw
this
it.
is true. Oh, he's suing them now.
It's true. Yeah, it's a Graphene OS. It was a Graphene OS phone. Yeah. VC-backed startups commit more fraud, and researchers think they know why.
True? I don't know. What else?
Well, the first part is true, but the second part, I doubt it.
It's both true. Yes. Pinterest tests dynamic pricing for safe pins at 2 cents per save. Users revolt.
Gotta be fake.
It's gotta be fake.
And it is fake. Yeah, that was fake on news for today. So you did not too bad, actually. So yeah, it's getting
proud of
harder and
myself.
harder to come up with things that sound plausible because there's so many things that are just completely mental happening. But yeah,
I would
fake on
have thought
news,
it's
fun again. And you can always go back and play with it later on as well. So it's all listed here on the Fake on News site. Cool. So let's go to your specialist topic if my browser is not crashing, because it seems to be right now. So there's an article by Evil Martians, the secure way to release an NPM package in 2026. Again, also available as a skill. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not going to click through all of them right now. That's something to read up on, to think about. But you have a project actually happening that you work on that's called Harden. And what does that mean? What does that do? Tell us about Harden.
All right. So Harden is not exactly tied to releasing a package.
Your
but
sound's
it's for
gone.
any project.
Or is my sound gone?
Shouldn't be. My sound's still there.
still works for me. Might be you, Chris.
All right. I'll keep going
I
then.
can't hear you.
Am I audible to anyone? Hello, hello? Josh? Oh, Josh can hear me. All right, so
Okay, keep
I'll
talking.
keep going and let Chris figure out what's up. All right, so Lava Mode Harden is usable for any project that has a package JSON and defines any dependencies. And this is a tool that you can use to automate configuring it optimally with the latest changes to package managers. So we've had a lot of good news in the NPM ecosystem this year, with NPM client itself making a lot of changes that were, I gotta say, long awaited, and they were breaking changes, but we're good. These are security changes. We are now at a point where every package manager lets you control what scripts are going to run during installation, and they have plenty of other configurations. And Lava Mode Harden, which is currently a pre-release 1.0 coming soon, is a tool to make the best out of your package manager's configuration. Currently supporting NPM, PNPM, and Yarn. Might add Vault if I find something that can be hardened in there. Other than that, there's some extra features if you want to really ramp up your project's security. But this is mostly built around what package managers can already do. And it's leveraging all of the configurations that were made available, most of them recently. So the main thing it does, it makes sure your package manager is set to a version that will support these things. And then it generates all of the configuration. So you can either go with a one CLI command that just configures everything and lets you push it to repository, or you can run a wizard that's going to ask you questions about every setting that can improve your project security to get that configured. And this is a prerequisite to not getting hacked with things like post-install scripts or other bogus things that your dependencies might do. And it's been made available now, mainly because of the ecosystem evolving. So with NPM now helping people block install scripts and blocking them by default, actually, attackers are going to move on to more advanced things. And that's where Lava Mode, other tools from Lava Mode also come in. So we have to stay ahead. And everyone else can stay ahead because it's a free and open source project.
I can hear you again, so that's good. So, I mean, the bigger problem was that NPM was basically very easy to sort these things out, but didn't. Using a system like that, of course, helps you. But do you think the platform should catch up on these things as well? Like, do you think that's the where we actually should be wondering if we cannot make
They did a lot of catching up this year. Yes, the hardening on NPM side is also happening. I mean, the community, were asking NPM to expand two-factor authentication for publishing and to introduce staging for years now. And it's finally happened. And staging is great. If you set up trusted publishing with staging, and then you have to manually go and look at the package that is being released and decide, did I intend to release this package right now? This is perfect. This eliminates most cases where someone could steal some credentials and release your package. So enable staged publishing as soon as possible. And if you have many packages, you know what it's like when you're a dev and you have to do something multiple times. You're going to spend twice as long automating that. That's exactly what I did. So if you have to now set up staged trusted publishing for a bunch of packages, this is going to be helpful. I'm sharing my screen now. So if you go to lavamode github.io/stageclicker, this is a tiny HTML file that I created that contains a bookmarklet that has no permissions whatsoever. It's just a script that when you click the bookmark runs in the context of the current page. It's like you've added a bit of code in your console and nothing else. It doesn't persist in your browser, so you don't really have to trust it much. And you're in control that it's going to run only on this page and do nothing else. And you can read it. It's super short. And what it does is when you run it on this screen, it's going to set up this box here, like where normally this is like, oh, you can set up trusted publishing here. It's going to set it up for you. And if you have tens of packages, it's so annoying to click the same thing so many times. And in pretty much all of the cases, the main thing you have to do there is clicking 3 buttons and taking this string and putting it in a field in the middle. So I automated that. Yep.
That's where bookmarklets come in. It's still a wonderful way to actually try things out. And I mean, especially with browser extensions being used to actually attack browsers, they've become a lot less powerful than they used to be. But bookmarklets is still a thing that actually works because it injects in your own machine. But then again, there's malicious bookmarklets as well. So be afraid sometimes about
read
those
your
as well.
bookmarklets. All right. So going back to Lavamode Harden, the release is coming up, but you can already try it out. And the great thing is it doesn't go into your dependencies. You just install it whichever way you want and run it on your project. It's going to generate some configuration. And the latest thing I put in it is the script's execution environment changes, where it turns out every package manager lets you hook into the mechanics of running scripts from package.json. In package.json, you have scripts like build, test, lint, etc. And imagine your linter is probably using a bunch of plugins, and these are NPM packages that are less prominent. And if someone takes over that package and decides to take the contents of your browser profile and send them somewhere, that's not great. And this tool lets you eliminate part of that danger by limiting where the script from your package.json, whenever it runs node, is going to access disk. And with node 26, you can also use the permissions to limit network access. So you can set up your linting to be read-only, disk access, and offline. And it's just going to break if it tries to do something else. And this is the principle behind Lavamode in general, but here I found a way to, without using the whole machinery of Lavamode, which requires some effort to put in place. This is pretty much effortless. You just have to make the decisions, put them in a file, and this package sets things up in a way that NPM is, or Yarn, or PNPM is going to run your scripts under these permissions, which is nice experiment. Took a bit to
So
figure out for Yarn.
currently you do Yarn and npm. How about Bun and Dino?
Bun and Dino are different beasts. And there's not enough API surface to try to integrate with them. Also, they are all-in-one solutions. So if they want to provide this, I'm happy to work with them. But it would have to be part of Bun or Dino themselves.
In general, what kind of contribution are you looking for, and are you expecting a lot of stuff to come in, or because right now it's 3 maintainers on the thing, but do you think it's going to blow up?
So Lava Modes, the project itself has been going on for about 6 years now, and we have Lava Modes, and we have the Hardened JS groups that are working together on making things fundamentally more secure. The goal is to eliminate certain classes of security risks entirely. And the group is larger than just the 3 of us. That being said, we are open to contributions, and the best way to contribute is to test and report issues. If you're a more advanced user, we are open to all kinds of fixes you want to contribute. And Lava Mode Harden itself, if you go to the repository, it has 3 files called opinion.js, one for each package manager. And if you have an opinion that you think applies to everyone using that package manager about how it should be configured, you can contribute that opinion, and we will make some decisions on how it should be announced by the wizard and if it should be part of any of the levels that we have, like moderate or strict, or maybe only if the user opts into that willingly in the wizard. But you can contribute pretty much any configuration for your package manager or things around it that many projects use into this package, and I will be reviewing it.
Excellent. I like that you did that. Instead of doing a template, a pull request template that gives you opinions, you just put a file in there called opinion.js, so people have to edit the file. So that's another interesting way of getting contributions in there and not having to worry about too many pull requests coming in. Well, I mean, I hope there will be a lot of pull requests coming in. I hope that people will use it, because it seems to be solving a real issue that we have at the moment. And yeah, good luck on the 1.0 release. That's always a worrying thing to do. I mean, it was more worrying when I did it in Microsoft than for a project like that. But it's still it feels good to have a 1.0. Yeah. It feels like a very a step done.
The 0.6 version I released before this meeting is a release candidate, effectively. So it has all the features that I intended for 1.0. And now, how much can I change in 2 weeks? Probably not much. Mostly human readable text is going to change. But other than that, this is what I intended to give people. So take it and run it.
Cool. Well, thanks very much. This was a great, interesting concept. We covered a lot of stuff today, and it's interesting to see that there's so many security things happening right now, and especially also regulation things that people are confused about. So hopefully we manage to confuse them even more and get some more information out there for people to choose and read. So this WeAreDevelopers Live. Any last words for people out there? CB, anything you want people to do or not to do?
Stay safe.
How about you, Josh?
No, I got nothing to add. Thanks for having me, and glad to join anytime. So,
well, we can make it we can make it a common thing. I mean, like you're in the office, we're in the office. So next week we're going to be actually in the Silicon Valley. So I don't know if the show is going to happen or not, or if we're going to pre-record it. So we'll see, because this time the Silicon Valley is not a good time to have it. I also find it fascinating, the scroller down there, the marquee that's happening here. We wrote San Jose with an accent, which is not actually the city. Like, we made it even more Spanish than it is. Like,
that's debatable. That's actually debatable. I mean, I come from California, and that was my first feedback when I joined the company. But apparently, the city of San Jose, that's their branding choice. So if you go to the city of San Jose's website, they have that listed there. So that growing up in San Francisco, I knew it as San Jose without the part.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Wikipedia page, the Wikipedia page doesn't have it, and that's also true for me. But it's
a branding effort by the city. So
I'm
surprised.
Having lived in Silicon Valley and worked in there as well, it cracks me up that everything is a San this or that or other in California. Like, I mean, you start with San and you do an autocomplete. When I wrote Yahoo Maps, not fun. Like, I mean, that's a big request. Like, it's all of it. Oh, my favorite is when you have El Camino Real, the road, and people are like, "Oh, I'm almost there. I'm on El Camino Real," and you're like, "This is like 220 miles long, that whole road or something. It just goes through the whole of California." So no, you're not here yet. Like, I'm quite sure. Which is the number that you're on is the interesting bit. Cool. Well, thanks very much for listening. I hope we had something for you. You can also play Truth or Dare, almost said. You can play Fake or News yourself as well if you want to. And I hope to see you in September in the Silicon Valley in San Jose. I just booked my tickets, so now I have to argue with my wife that I'm going to be not available on those days. But yeah, we're going to be seeing you in the Silicon Valley doing the same thing we did in Berlin, a bit smaller, but with excellent partners. So hopefully there will be good stuff to be heard and to be played with. So thanks very much. This was WeAreDevelopers Live for today, and we see you maybe next Wednesday, and if not, the Wednesday after. So thanks, Josh. Thanks, Zby. This was great. Bye-bye.
See ya.